Good morning. Can you all hear me? Hopefully, you can hear me. I was messing around on the computer trying to do it a different way, and I couldn't get it to work. So, hopefully, all can hear me. I think you can. All right. So, I'm a little flustered's not the right word, but we're not exactly. My mind is a little distracted. Okay. Great. You can hear me. So we are in Are You Ready? Part 17. And we're going to be in Revelation chapter 6. But before we get there, let's talk about announcements. We've got Youth Garage Sale this Saturday. Not Saturday. Well, it is Saturday, but Friday and Saturday, which means you should take your unwanted sellable items to Pastor Joel's house on Thursday and give them to him so he can sell them on Friday and Saturday, and we can earn some money for the youth. Yeah. So if you've got good stuff that you think people might want to buy that you don't want anymore, take it to him, can coordinate with him. I think the only things he doesn't want are couches and mattresses. Yeah. And then hopefully they will raise some funds for the various youth activities. So connect with him about that. This Sunday is going to be church at Lake Wilderness. We're going to have our church picnic and church service there. Service starts at 10 a.m. as opposed to our normal 9:45. Bring some fixins for the potluck afterwards. We're going to have some guys on the grill. Pete Lindstrom, Craig Adams, Nick Metcalf, a variety of guys helping out with that. So bring your stuff and bring a lawn chair or a blanket or a towel to sit on. It's going to be a good old time. It's beautiful at Lake Wilderness. So it's actually one of my kids' favorite parks to go to. They call it the Fish Park. We have affectionate names for all the parks in the Varner family. There's the Spider Park. There's the Pirate Park. There's the Salmon Park. There is the Bridge Park. There is the Plane Park. And there is the Fish Park. The Fish Park is Lake Wilderness. And there's Miss Jill's Park. Yeah, so that's where we practice riding our bicycles because it's a big empty parking lot and there's no one ever there. So, yes. Good morning, Mom. Good morning, Allison. Good morning, Jill. And so we hope that you will join us for that. And sorry about if you tried to watch the service on Sunday online. We had some internet issues with Xfinity. There was actually an Xfinity truck out on the road during service. And so it went down, went up, went down, went up. I don't know. And then there was actually a power line that was down at the same time, but that didn't affect us. So, yeah, just a reason to remember why you should go to church in person. Because sitting at home on your couch isn't actually going to church. Church is a gathering of people. So unless other people are coming to your house, sitting in your house is not church. Yes, the service, as we recorded it and it is now uploaded and available. So if you weren't here on Sunday and you wanted to watch it, it is available to watch. We have both versions on there, I think. The one that cuts in and out and the one that doesn't cut in and out. So I would just watch the full one. But the other one, I think Bill left up because there's streaming views on it and YouTube cares about those things. And so the more views you have, the better. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. Things that I didn't go to seminary to learn about. Things that when I said, yes, Lord, I will be a pastor, I believe you're calling me to this. Things I didn't care about. I've learned to care about a lot of things that I never thought I'd care about. Chair arrangements. I had to learn about chair arrangements and care about chair arrangements. They're important because they help people worship and those types of things, but I didn't go to seminary to care about those things. Health protocols, definitely didn't go to seminary to learn about those things or care about those things. And yet I had to learn to care about them. Okay, so that's some huge digressions. I've got something on my glasses, so let me clean these. I feel like there was maybe something else I was supposed to say, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Oh, invite kids to VBS if you haven't already. If you know a neighbor kid that would benefit from coming, invite them. If you have grandkid, niece, nephew, cousin, twice removed, invite them. We'd love for them to join us and be here for it as they learn about how awesome God is and learn some sciencey themed stuff and how the greatest thing in life is the miracle of the resurrection. So, all right. Now we're good. Okay, let's jump into Revelation chapter 6. Here we go. My formatting got weird because my Bible program wouldn't open in time, so it looks a little different than my normal formatting. But I suspect you all will put up with me in that. So let's look. Boom. Okay. Now this is John. He's still in heaven, and he is giving us his vision. And now he says, now I watched the Lamb open one of the 7 seals, and I heard one of the 4 living creatures with a voice like thunder, come. And I looked, and behold, a white horse, and its rider had a bow, and a crown was given to him. And he came out conquering and to conquer. When he had opened the 2nd seal, I heard the 2nd living creature say, come. And out came another horse, bright red. Its rider was permitted to take peace from the earth so that people should slay one another. And he was given a great sword. Now, the rider on the white horse, there's a variety of opinions on who that is, whether that's Jesus or Satan or the Antichrist. There's a variety of opinions, but here's what I think we need. Well, like we've been saying, like we're not focusing on those details because there is speculation on it, and since it is imagery, we want to take what we can know with certainty and glean from that, as opposed to what we can speculate upon. So, what is interesting about this, and not so much the white horse and its rider, but the red horse and the black horse and the pale horse. These riders, they represent what would come about as a result of war. So you have the first ride, the bright red horse. Its rider was permitted to take peace from the earth so that people should slay one another, and he was given a great sword. This is the horse of war. This is bringing death and blood, and peace is removed from the earth so that people kill one another. There is war. And then the second horse, when he opened the 3rd seal, I heard the living creature say, come. And I looked, and behold, a black horse, and its rider had a pair of scales in his hand. And I heard what seemed to be a voice in the midst of 4 living creatures saying, a quart of wheat for a denarius, and 3 quarts of barley for a denarius, and do not harm the oil and the wine. So some things are experiencing inflation in prices. The price for the wheat and the barley are a lot. It's like 14 times what it would normally cost. Yet the oil and the wine don't experience that. So you have inflation, you have the consequences of war. And then when he opened the 4th seal, I heard the voice of the 4th living creature say, come. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and its rider name was Death, and Hades followed him. And they were given authority over 1/4 of the earth to kill with a sword, and with famine, and with pestilence, and by wild beasts of the earth. Death comes upon the earth as a result of the war, and with it, disease and destruction. And here's what I want us to see in this. Did you notice what happens? These 3 horses are not released until it says come. They are not free to go about as they please. They are under the auspice, they are under the control of God. God determines these matters. I ran out of room. So when we consider the stuff that's happening around us, the wars, peace being taken from the earth, death, destruction, inflation, these things are not outside of God's control. God is ultimately over them and orchestrating them to his good purposes. Kind of like what Pastor Craig talked about on Sunday, how God uses sinful actions of humanity to accomplish his will and his purposes. Genesis, the story of Joseph, clearly illustrates that God works through sinful humanity's actions to accomplish God's good purpose. God is not the author of evil. He does not cause evil in the sense of a moral evil, but he uses it and he allows it. And so we need to see that God is in control of these things. And when he opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of those who had been slain for the word of God and the witness they had borne. So they are slayed for holding true to the word, and they are witnesses. So that being faithful in commitment to the word and faithful in witness in the face of persecution, they cried out with a loud voice, "O sovereign Lord, sovereign, these things," remember, he's over those. So he is the sovereign Lord, the holy and true. "How long before you will judge and avenge your blood on those who will dwell on the earth?" They know that God will make things right. They just have to wait. Friends, sometimes we have to wait for God to make things right. It's not abnormal for us to have to wait for God to make things right. We should, in some way, be thankful for that, because if he didn't wait to make things right, that hammer would fall on us too. So we want to make sure that we trust him, because he is sovereign. "How long before you will judge and avenge our blood on those who dwell on the earth?" God will ultimately make things right. God will make it right. Then they were each given a white robe and told to rest a little longer until the number of their fellow servants and their brothers should be complete, who were to be killed as they themselves had been. Everything is waiting until God's perfect timing. It's not going to happen any sooner. It's not going to happen any later. It's going to happen exactly when God intends to. The number. That means there is a specific number that God is waiting for it to come to fulfillment. He's not going to move his plan up any sooner based on anything we do. His plan is going to come to fruition exactly when he intends it to. It says that they were killed as they themselves had been. So God is waiting for the full number of the martyrs to be had, and then he will institute the final judgment. When he had opened the sixth seal, I looked, and behold, there was a great earthquake, and the white sun became black as sackcloth. The full moon became like blood, and the stars of the sky fell to the earth. And as the fig tree sheds its winter fruit when shaken by a gale, the sky vanished like a scroll that is being rolled up, and every mountain and island was removed from its place. Then the kings of the earth and the great ones and the generals and the rich and the powerful and everyone, slave and free, hid themselves in the caves among the rocks of the mountains. This is like everyone. Everyone's trying to get out of Dodge. They are trying to hide. And they're calling on the mountains and the rocks, "Fall on us and hide us from the face of him who is seated on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb." The Lamb has wrath. That's not the picture we get of Jesus in society, right? For the great day of their wrath has come, and who can stand? God lets out the full brunt of his force on earth, and the earth quakes and trembles under his wrath. So here's what I think is important and critical for us in as we consider this for our encouragement. Right? We have these things, right? Ooh, it wouldn't go. Um, what do we see here? We see a God who is in control over death. God who is over control of what nations do with one another. God who is over control of peace. God who is over and in control of food, oil, and wine. A God who is in control over the sword and famine and pestilence and wild beasts. Who is this? This is the sovereign Lord. Our God is in control of all these things, including what the earth does, what nature does, all those things. And everyone comes to that conclusion. Everyone wants to hide. The rich, powerful, generals, slave, and free, they all hide themselves. Friends, you have a God who is in control, who all will ultimately submit to him. Not just some of the time, not just a little bit, but all of it will come to him and be submitted to him. That's good news when you're facing people who don't like you and want to harm you and want to hurt you and are opposed to you because you have faith, because you have, as what does it say? I've drawn so much that I can't find it anymore. Those who had been faithful to the word. Where did it go? Oh, it's under my circling. So here we go. There we go. So, slain for the word and a witness they had borne. Now I know why John Piper uses multiple colors. If you've never watched, look at the book. It's worth your time. You can watch on Desiring God. You can watch on Right Now Media. It's worth it. Okay. Anyhow, friends, he's got it under control. Even when the world is out of control, he's got it under control. That was the message Pastor Craig shared with us on Sunday. As true then as it is today, as true in the verses we looked at on Sunday as it is in this that we look in Revelation chapter 6. So, friends, I hope that encourages you, knowing that all the things that tend to cause us to stress out and worry, all the things that are utterly out of our control that make us freak out and worry and be concerned are not outside his control and his sovereignty. So, friends, may that encourage you as you go about your week, and may you walk in faithfulness with him as you are committed to the word and faithfully bear witness to him in everyday life. So I hope you have a great week. If you have any questions about garage sale, if you have any questions about church picnic, if you have any questions about VBS or anything else, you let us know. We'll talk to you later, and we'll see you on Sunday.